and welcome back to Digital Assets Daily. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in your corner of the world. Today we're going to have a discussion on a NEM, the XEM token, and what is it? I was having a discussion this week on Twitter, and in its connection to Ripple and XRP, this appeared, and so I was requested to make a video. I was a little uncertain going into this, as I do have my favorites. I still keep an open mind about any other considerations. But point is, after getting into this, I find it more interesting that as in my research I've connected Stellar and Ripple to working together, XRP and XLM. And now it seems we have another person, the XEM token, that connects back to XRP and XLM. So NEM is connecting back to Stellar and Ripple. I didn't go extremely deep into this, but I did get into it fairly heavy enough that it's interesting to any XRP or XLM holder. As the greatest thing I continue to repeat is Brad Garlinghouse mentions the currencies, the cryptocurrency and digital assets that will survive, as he stated, of the 5,000 cryptocurrencies available today, are going to be the ones with a use case, a product, and a team. And this one, going into it basically blindfolded and zero expectations, kind of impressed me a little bit. So I'm going to share what I learned, and hopefully you find it interesting too, especially if you are an XRP or XLM holder, investor. Okay, here we go. The XEM token. What is it? The benefits of XEM. XEM is the native currency of the NEM public blockchain. It is used to pay for transactions on this public blockchain in order to incentivize its network of public nodes that process and record transactions for businesses and users there. This means that XEM has real fundamental value as the currency of a functioning economy. It has zero inflation. The amount of XEM tokens in the ecosystem is fixed. It's scalable, featuring high TPS. Support the ecosystem by harvesting XEM tokens. It's efficient with negligible electricity and hardware cost. Production ready. NEM is a blockchain engine that enables businesses to easily apply blockchain technologies on their processes. The MIJIN, M-I-G-M-A-J-I-N, I'm sure I'm saying that incorrectly. Please feel free to phonetically pronounce that in the comments below. Thank you. NEMs or NEMs permissioned ledger can ensure over 4,000 transactions per second and supports full interaction with NEM. Technical. NEM is a developer-friendly platform that focuses on fast and secure development by offering a set of built-in features that do not require complex smart contracts nor a specific language. And obviously, if you're more interested in this, I'm not going to go through absolution. There are links beneath each of these little segments. As always, we do include all of the links in the description below. Feel free to come back and, if you're curious, click on the links and you can learn a lot about this. Has a strong global community The NEM's public chain is supported by a strong community of developers and companies that look after its growth as an entire ecosystem. My apologies, guys. It's been a little tough this week. I have been exhausted. I apologize if my voice sounds rough, if I'm a little bit cough or sniffling. But I wanted to continue putting out the news. So the thing here that catches me is, as it says, entire ecosystem, something Brad Garlinghouse states over and over again. There are going to be different coins, tokens, cryptocurrencies, digital assets that will have to work together. As we've already seen that XLM and XRP are working together throughout many different systems. Going back to even wholesale, retail, and even in sections of which we've shown in video and on our channel, that even on the WorldWire, there are things where they need XRP, even though the system is based on Stellar's XLM. But the entire ecosystem, it'll become more obvious as we get through this, and I was basically surprised. The governance. NEM is being further developed by the NEM Foundation, an organization that is formed by a fully committed team that focuses on expanding the technology and its use cases. Haven't spent a lot of time on this site, so we're both seeing this for the first time together right here. Start harvesting through the delegated API. NEM was the first blockchain to introduce delegated harvesting, a unique way to harvest XEM while keeping the funds safe. They have a delegated harvesting and a supernode program. And here you can purchase XEM. Let's go backwards. Get started with XEM. Learn how to use XEM with our step-by-step guide. Here's a little link. Get started. Now come back to purchase XEM. Participate in the ecosystem by acquiring XEM from any of the exchanges. They are available on Poloniex, Indodax, SpectroCoin, Shapeshift. I'm not sure what that is. Zafe, Bittrex, HitBC, Changelly. Changelly's interesting. It looks like the old Stellar logo. You have Lightbit, AEX.com, X-Rates, Costs, Upbit, Huobi, Alpha Cashier, CoinEx, OKEx, and Binance, which a lot of people are already familiar with. Excuse me. Livecoin, Coin Payments, BitHum, Bitcoin, Indicoin, Cryptrose, iCoin, CoinSuper. There's actually a NEM exchange, ZB.com, OpenLedger, BTC Trade, Kex, Bitfex.trade, Change Hero, Best Rate, BitAsia EX, BitBNS, BTC Alpha, CoinBee, Crex24, Xcube, Codex, Cryptono Exchange, and the Kuna Exchange. So it's available on a lot of exchanges outside of the US. Right into the Bank of Lithuania looks into central bank digital currency. Basically how this whole thing began is we had shared this article on our Twitter page. And then come to find out, one of the guys on our Twitter group, Robertas, if I'm saying your name wrong, my apologies. We haven't spoken, only on Twitter. So he had mentioned that this bank was actually running on NEM. There's a lot of talk about the central banks using digital currencies. And here we actually have a physical, actual, confirmed example of a central bank using a digital currency, NEM, or NEM. Actually, the ticker is XEM, and we will get into that further. It's going to soon be changed to, I believe it was XYM. We will confirm that before the end of this video. It's coming up shortly. But on their Twitter page, which we will also show, it will be a 1-for-1 swap. I don't want to go into this too deep. It will be available if you're interested. Only using it as an example of them actually confirmed to using NEM. And then we also have Venezuela plans to create a cryptocurrency central bank. They are also a confirmed user of NEM with their currency XEM, soon to be XYM. So we already have it on 2 central banks confirmed usage. A negative, though, with the Venezuela bank, we wanted to add that in. U.S. sanctions Venezuela's central bank. The latest sanctions are meant to limit Venezuela's access to U.S. dollars. So as a U.S. citizen, I'm not quite sure how that can affect anything, if it does at all, for the investment, because you're not really with Venezuela, just a currency that they happen to be using. I wanted to read this. It was a blockchain, NEM versus Ripple versus Ethereum. What's the difference? I thought there was some really good information in this Ripple versus NEM section. It'll be obvious, and I'll point it out as we go through. I just want to read it really quickly. Let's widen this up for those of you who are on your mobile phones. Ripple versus NEM. Now we know that NEM is a widely promoted cryptocurrency that goes with a bunch of new functions. It's used by businesses and individual users to manage the information and data securely. When working with it, you can be sure that any piece of information on your computer will be safe and no one can tamper with it. Many internet users claim that NEM is rather Ripple's main competitor than Ethereum's. And there's a piece of truth in that, where Ripple can be applied. Ripple's XRP is actually an older coin than Bitcoin. It was created in 2004 and offers a unique protocol for banks that allows transferring money to any recipient around the world. Even individual investors can use the coin to perform the instant transaction. The transaction fees will be lower than what traditional banks charge. In fact, the amount of banks and financial institutions using Ripple is growing thanks to lower fees induced by the protocol that contributes to the growth of this currency. Therefore, if you observe the implementation of Ripple versus NEM for banks, it becomes clear that the first coin is better, meaning that Ripple would be better than NEM for banks. NEM is simply created for different tasks. As for their price, both currencies have experienced value raising by over 1,000% during the last 1 to 1.5 years. Experts recommend traders investing in both cryptocurrencies. And that's something that I'm finding very interested in the possibility of myself. They'll be able to get dividends from both of them without serious risk, or at least from one of them, which will cover expenses anyway. I thought this was a great article because as they compared it fairly, they're stating that Ripple was the better currency, but NEM would be used for something that XRP and Ripple would not be. And as we mentioned constantly, that XRP and Ripple can't do everything. There's not one company that can run the entire planet. So how could you expect Ripple? There will be partners. So not financial advice, but be smart about it. I do believe it is my favorite. Ripple XRP will be massive. Absolutely. And I'm a little prejudiced, obviously, but I have an open mind to look as we are now into others. A cool thing too, going back to Ripple partnering up with NEM, is they are launching a blockchain for Europe, or actually have launched a blockchain for Europe association. So this is cool to me, how we see Ripple and XRP partnering up with them. Let's go into this article a little bit so it makes more sense. The 4 major blockchain companies have formed a blockchain for Europe association, according to press release December 5 at the time of this article. The association seeks to promote the understanding and proactive regulation of blockchain and other DLT across the continent. The 4 participant companies are Ripple, the NEM Foundation, Emergo, we'll call it Emergo, I apologize if that's incorrect, which supports commercial ventures based on the Cardano blockchain. And I know there's a lot of Cardano fans out there. And smart ledger development firm Fetch AI. The firms have outlined the association's aim as addressing the European Union's fragmented policy debate around blockchain, which they claim is skewed by inconsistent information from those outside the emerging sector. In a bid to improve upon the current state of affairs, the newly formed association will aim to educate those in the European Union and member state institutions about the technology's potential. It will also advocate for future smart regulation that will be conducive to innovation and help the continent shape for global agenda on blockchain. So I found that pretty interesting. There's more to the article if you're interested, but that clearly goes in and explains the partnership they're working with Ripple and NEM. And again, as we've mentioned, I found this interesting that they were also partnered with Stellar. So you have Tron and Stellar join Mousebelt's Blockchain Education Alliance to train student developers. We're going to go into this article briefly as well. Let me expand this for the mobile users. And then we'll get right in. The crypto firms need young developers. University students need jobs, and a new alliance of blockchain educators wants to give both a hand. The Blockchain Education Alliance will address crypto recruiters' perennial high demand and low supply quandary with a raft of tools, resources, mentorships, and industry contacts that it hopes will create a new generation of students in the field. It's better for everyone in the ecosystem if we have more talent and better projects being built, said coordinator Ashley Meredith, the program director for Mousebelt University, adding, "It's a long-term investment in the space that benefits everyone." Launched by Bay Area incubator Mousebelt, the Blockchain Education Alliance includes Stellar, Hedera, Icon, Ontology, OneChain, Harmony One, Nervos, Orbs, LTO Network, Emergo, NEM, Tron, and ETC Labs. Mousebelt hopes that more will join. So now we've shown that NEM is partnered with Ripple and a project, and NEM is also partnered with Stellar in a project. So that really caught my attention. Just adding one random piece of article that I pulled up. NEM Ventures progressing with CycleBit partnership in the in-store, online, and on-the-go buys. I want to go into this just briefly, into some of this information as well. NEM, with their token XEM, is showing an engulfing candlestick with higher volume, providing for a bullish trend. However, the price range engulfed is that which trended over the past 6 days. An RSI crossing is noted above the averages. The composite index crossing is above the slow and fast averages. NEM Ventures have recently invested CycleBit, which provides for simple affordable, and robust tools to enable retail customers to accept the cryptocurrency and fiat payments for in-store, online, and on-the-go buys, which need a reliable payment system. Dave Hodgson, director and co-founder of NEM Ventures, stated, "CycleBit is an established player in crypto and fiat payments space, and we are thrilled to make a strategic investment in this project at a time of major growth for the organization. With an existing global presence and the potential to help bring crypto to the mainstream, we are aligned in our vision to bring crypto to mass adoption. CycleBit is focused on bridging the gap between mainstream adoption and digital assets while teaming up with brick-and-mortar retailers and merchants from across the world, eventually providing for POS point-of-sale terminals which will accept cryptocurrency payments. There is a crucial gap about traditional businesses that are willing to perform transactions in digital currencies, and this will provide the current consumer need. The amount of XEM tokens is fixed, providing for high TPS and therefore zero inflation. The electricity and hardware costs are negligible. Businesses will be able to apply blockchain technology in their processes easily. The NEM network provides for more than 4,000 transactions per second. And the community of developers for NEM is enormous. LuxTag Equity crowdfunding the ECF campaign is ongoing. Sam Shafee, CEO of Pitchin, stated, "The acceptance of Bitcoin and XEM in addition to fiat currency, Malaysian ringgit, is an important part of the LuxTag ECF campaign, and we believe that this will set a precedent for other ECF issuers to utilize crypto tokens in their businesses to eventually expand their reach to global contributors." Opening Line Inc., one of the unique Japan-based companies, are focusing on the NEM blockchain. The company also organizes informational and educational seminars for Japanese companies, an introduction to next-generation core engine code named Catapult, and introduces what Opening Line Inc. is striving towards. Catapult is the NEM's next-generation core engine, which has been rebuilt from scratch, thereby inheriting the NEM concept. The performance and functionality have evolved into a safer and secure to use blockchain system. Complex aggregate transactions will not be executed in this network, and all related transactions will either succeed or fail. Another thing I found interesting was Travala's partnership with NEM leads to a 20% surge of cryptocurrency. I'm not getting into the article, only to show that Ripple and Travala partnership allows XRP holders to spend pay at more than 550,000 hotels in 200 plus countries. So we have other partnerships connecting them as well, which was very exciting. Another personal, give me one moment. I took a quick sip of coffee, and another personal interest in them for me is Pundi X partnership here. Or actually, I should say how they work together. The NEM blockchain is already being adopted in a number of industries and services in Asia around the world, including Absolutely Inc. Absolutely Inc. is also connected to Starbucks, which I'm a big fan of. The largest rewards and loyalty program company in the Philippines. A point-of-sale terminal for cryptocurrency for the retail industry is Pundi X in Indonesia. As we just mentioned in the last article, the reason I was so extensive because I wanted to explain how that connects back to Pundi X. And back in payment and mobile settlement solutions by Dragonfly Fintech, Pte. Limited of Singapore. Dragonfly Fintech has a pretty interesting history within itself. But I thought it was exciting to see because on this channel we also like Pundi X. So now we have NEM connecting to Pundi X, Ripple, and Stellar all partnering in some sort of project. Sorry, my apologies, guys. I'm pushing through this. It's a little bit tough this week, but wanted to get you some news and information. Okay, now we're on the NEM, the NEM official Twitter page. As we mentioned before, their official token is XEM, but in your NEM wallet, which you would store this, at the time of the snapshot, the same amount of XYM you will get if you opt into the migration. One XEM current title token will equal one XYM, which is their new NEM symbol to the blockchain. Again, guys, I wanted to thank Robertas for sharing this information on the connection here, as he had sent me this on Twitter. So we wanted to say thank you. This is the reason we did the entire video for NEM. Gonna finish off this video with never let go of your dreams. All right, guys, this is not financial advice. It is for entertainment purposes only. We thank you so much for your support. Love you guys and catch you in the next one.